Hello. Good people in the house. Good people in the house. As people. It's another moment to have interaction, to share some word of knowledge. It's to share some word of knowledge, word of encouragement. Word of encouragement. We cannot do without encouragement. We cannot do without knowledge. We cannot do without information. We cannot do without it. Yeah. We cannot do without information. Let's come around. Hello people. What's going on here? Let's chat. Let's be free. Let's be free. Let's be free and do this today. Let's be free. Hello. Papi Gray. Hello. You're welcome to this section. You're welcome to this live. Yeah. Papi Gray. Hello. Berus. Hello. How are you? The back. People are coming live. People are coming around. Yeah. People are coming. Yeah. Let's jump to this session. Let's come around. Let's jump to this session. It is gonna be full of knowledge. It's gonna be full of life. It's gonna be full of informations. I mean, things that will transform you. Because, life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of a lot of crisis. But the best way to live the life is to have the right knowledge, is to have the right information. The best way to go through life is to have the right knowledge, is to have the right information, is to build yourself against the crisis, is to build yourself against the world. Yeah, it's full of so many things. But let me tell you, the best place to be is this world. I say it often. I say it every time. The best place to be is still this world. But it depends on how you understand the world, how you understand the universe. So it depends on the kind of information you are operating by. The best place to be is this world, but it depends on the kind of information you operate by. Yes. If you do not understand how the universe is run, the people who operate the universe, you're not going to enjoy the universe. And so, if we can come around to share, to listen to some information, to listen to some knowledge around the universe, we can live that kind of life that we are capable of living. Yeah. Let me tell you frankly that most people are living two lives. The one they are living and then the one they are capable of living. And that belongs to majority. Majority of people are living the life that they are living and not the life they are capable of living. And that is dangerous. That is the dangerous. The day you know that life that you are capable of living, that is when you are free. The day you begin to live that life that you are capable of living, that is when the freedom set in. Most people are living the second life. But the life they are capable of living, they are not living that. And it is only information, it is only knowledge that can transform you to that life that you are capable of living. It is so worse and it is so dangerous to just see people out there living the best life. I mean, living your life, living the kind of life that you are capable of living, and you are just watching them, you're just looking at them. It is disheartening. And it is so damning to the point where you wake up every day and you see other people living that life that you are capable of living, but you cannot live it. Majority of people are not living the life they are capable of living, and that is dangerous. And that is why so many people are so frustrated. So many people are not happy. So many people are even ready to commit suicide. Just because they are not living the life they are capable of living. And that is nobody's cause. It is your own duty, it is your own responsibility to build yourself to the point of living that life that you are capable of living. So it is so much important for you to stop living and begin to live that life that you are capable of living. You cannot keep worrying and keep disturbing yourself all the time. Let me tell you, at the end of it, at the long run, you're going to struggle with your health. You're going to struggle with your life. It is dangerous to live some kind of life and you end up being a happy person or end up being a healthy person. And so you've got to be deliberate on the kind of life you want to live. You've got to be deliberate on the kind of life you want to live. And that is why the conversation today it speaks to start living and stop worrying. About 90% of people are on a worry spree. We are just every day worrying, disturbing ourselves, worrying about life. When is it going to happen? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? But you cannot keep living this kind of life and be free and be great. I tell people that from the beginning, the world was built natural. From the beginning, the world was built natural. The world does not understand chaos. The world does not understand the problem we talk about. It was neutral. But over the period of time, as human being begins to evolve, we begin to build all kind of narrative. We begin to build all kind of narrations around the world. And let me tell you, you cannot hold on too much to what has worked and think that the world is not progressing. The world is moving. The world is changing. Majority of us just have the concept of change, but we do not embrace change. We do not really and deeply embrace change. That is why majority of us are not really building the right knowledge. That's why we are not building the right information, because we just have the concept of change, but we do not believe in change. And I think it's because change is noiseless. It doesn't come sudden. It is over the period of time. Because change comes over the period of time. So majority of us are not we are not preparing ourselves for change. Recently I made a video on the concept of building yourself, building your destiny description rather than building your job description. No, I made a video, a critical video on this, that you've got to focus on destiny description rather than job description, because a lot of us focus so much on job description rather than destiny description. And in that video, I was talking about how majority of companies are brand. Companies are brand. And for you to work for some certain companies, you've got to be a brand. And for you to be a brand, you've got to keep working on destiny description. Your blueprint to life must be your destiny description and not job description. Your blueprint to life must be destiny description and not job description. And because majority of us are not positioning ourselves for brand, so we are working on job description, and job description is limited. Job description is for particular job. And let me tell you, when that job ends, you begin to struggle. So you begin to struggle when your job ends, because you have positioned yourself just for the job. You have prepared yourself all this while for job description and not destiny description. And that is because majority of us we do not really understand that it is dynamics. It is changing. We cannot hold on to what has worked and just forget about the next phase of life. I'm going to give you a lot of brands that held on to what has been working, and over the period they were pushed out of the market because they hold on too much to their own knowledge. They hold on too much to their understanding, and they were pushed out of the markets. BlackBerry is a very good example of that. Nokia is a very practical example of that. When they were reigning, they held on too much. They do not have the concept of change. They do not understand that it's going to change. It's dynamic. You know, for you to survive and survive really, you've got to understand that human beings change per second. For you to live and live, you've got to understand that human beings change per second. And that is the universe. The universe is all about human beings. It's about humanity. They change per second. They bring in different ideas. They bring new information. They bring different dynamics to the world every moment and every time. And so for you to survive, you've got to embrace the reality of change. You don't just have to know that there is change. You've got to live change. You've got to embrace change. It is real. Change is real, and it is here to stay. So you don't just have to operate based on there is change, you've got to change. You've got to embrace it. And I'm going to give you a practical example of some nations that ruled this world for some certain period of time, but now they've been compressed. They've faded away. If you look at the Britain today, the Britain used to be the country that colonized almost all the world, and for many years ago. But today they faded away because at the time when they were ruling, they forgot that there is a change. They forgot that some guys are there studying them and they're going to take over. Today, America, they colonize, is almost the one that they are living on their support. There was Ottoman Empire, that is Turkey today. There was Babylonia, there was Persian Empire, that is Iran today. We have so many countries that they faded away because they were not operating on destiny description. They were operating on job description at the time, at the moment, only what I'm asked to do now. Only what I'm asked to do now. So they focus only what I'm asked to do today. They are not capturing that in the couple of years to come, in the couple of time to come, new idea is coming to the system. Things is going to change. People are not going to listen to the kind of life. They were empires, and now we live in the more democratically established nations. So they were not having the understanding that life is moving, things is dynamic, life is dynamic. They were just operating on their own reality, and they live too much in their own concept, in their own reality. But we cannot survive in that kind of mood. We cannot survive. We cannot keep surviving in that kind of light. We've got to embrace change. We don't just have to hear of change. We have to embrace it. It is real. You know, in the days when technology starts coming to the market, a lot of people were still investing more in an analogical world. A lot of people were still buying typewriters. They were still buying so many things that has gone. But we're already in the technology world. Technology has taken over because they do not embrace the reality of change. They have the concept of change, but they do not embrace the reality of change. And so for us to live, we've got to understand that change is real and it is noiseless. A lot of things is going on now that majority of us do not know. A lot of change is going on now that we do not know. And by the time we are caught, we'll be stuck and we'll be pushed out of reality. Change is real, but it's noiseless. Because it is noiseless, because it comes without informing us, it becomes a big problem. And so we've got to prepare for change at all times. We've got to be ready for it, so that it doesn't caught us red-handed and it doesn't push us out of the reality. So today I will be speaking directly to start living and stop worrying. Start living and stop worrying. Because what makes majority of us to live a worrying life is because we have some certain concepts. Some ideas, some beliefs, some projects, or some dreams. And then we capitalize on our dreams, we capitalize on our goals, we capitalize on the projects. Let me tell you, your dream, your goals, your project, and all of that, they exist in the future. Every idea you got exists in the tomorrow. And you cannot operate in the tomorrow. So when you fix your eyes on your goal, on your project, on your idea, on your dream, you are living in tomorrow. Because your idea, your goals, your reality, all of them exist in tomorrow. And so majority of us we are going to the bed, we are going here and there, fixing our eyes, fixing our mind on the tomorrow, which is our goal, our idea, all that we're interested in. But you cannot live in tomorrow and not live a worrying life. So the reason why we are so worried all the time, we live in worriness all the time, is because we feast our eyes on that goal, on that wishes, on that dream. And I'm going to give you a quick narration that if you have built your castle in the sky, leave it there. Do not worry about the castle. You do not have to be worried about the castle you have built in the sky. Leave it there, allow it to be suspended, and come down to the ground and begin to do the costing analysis of how you will build the foundation and how you will begin to build the erections and go towards and then complete your castle. But majority of us, we have built our castle in the air and then we suspended ourselves into the air. We do not come to the ground and begin to do the analysis of how we will build the foundation, build the erection, build the block, and all of that. You cannot live in tomorrow and not live a worrying life. You will always keep experiencing worry. You will always be worried. You will always be disturbed because you focus more on the entire goal. You focus more on the entire dream. You focus more on the entire project. You do not understand that you have to come back to today and begin to do everything that is immediate. All the immediate part of the project, all the immediate part of the idea, all the immediate part of the dream is what you need to focus on. You've got to focus on the immediate part of the idea, not the entire idea. And so the main reason why majority of us are frustrated, the main reason why majority of us are frustrated is because we focus on the entire, which is ambiguous, which is bogus. Your entire wishes, your entire idea, your entire project, your entire dream is bogus. It's ambiguous, it's big, and you cannot achieve them at once. It is not possible to achieve all of everything that you wish for at once. And so you've got to stop focusing on them and begin to analyze those ones that you can do today. So you've got to begin to analyze the ones, the portion, the subset part of your idea, your goals, your dream that you can do today. Except you are living today, you are not going to live a free life. Except you are operating today, you cannot live a frustration-free life. About 90% of people are not living today. This is our problem. This is our problem. This is the problem. We fixated our eyes, our life, our mind on the wish, on the dream, on the goal, on the dream. And we neglected and rejected today. It is disheartening that majority of us are living this way. But for us to be free, we've got to change the dynamics. We've got to change the trajectory. For us to really live a free life, for us to start living and stop worrying, we've got to change the trajectory. We've got to focus on now. Let me tell you, there's no tomorrow. There's no future. There's nothing like that. It doesn't exist. Because when you arrive at that tomorrow, it becomes today. So there's no tomorrow. There's nobody that has ever said, now I am in tomorrow. This is tomorrow. No, it is always today. It's always now. And that is why we've got to focus more on now. It must be now or nothing. And so when you have actually come up with an idea, when you have probably a business idea, a project, a dream, or a goal, then you have to come down and sit down and do a deep reflection around the idea you caught. The first thing is to do a deep reflection, a deep analysis on the idea you've caught. Because sometimes some of our ideas are fantasy. Some of our ideas are just a dream. Some of our ideas are just wishes. Just because some of us are curious. Probably we saw some of our friends doing some certain things and then we say, I want to do something. And then we caught an idea. We caught something and said, I want to do this. This is great. I want to do it. Yes, it could be great, but it might not be achievable. It might not be achievable. It might not be reasonable. And so when you caught a particular idea, the first thing is to come down, sit with that idea and begin to do deep analysis, begin to reflect on that idea. Is this achievable? Is this real? Is this not just a wish? Is this not a fantasy? You do your background check here and there. That is your reflection process. It takes 3 points to work towards your idea. The first one is the reflection. Check if that idea is realistic. Check if the idea is achievable. Check if the idea is measurable. It's true. It's not just fantasy. So many ideas out there are fantasies. So many ideas out there are just wishes that are not achievable. And so it is wisdom to quickly know the idea that is real and the idea that is fake. It is reasonable to quickly know that the idea that is scalable. No idea that is not fantasy, that is not just a wish, that is not just a dream. Idea that is achievable. That is the fourth thing. You've got to spend quality time to know that this thing I'm wishing for, this dream I'm gunning for, this idea that I'm gunning for, these goals that I'm looking forward to, is it real? Is it achievable? Does it have meaning? Does it even have end? And so when you are clear about the true picture of that your goal, the true picture of your dream, the true picture of your wishes, and then you have concluded that it is achievable. Because the first thing is to establish that this idea, this goal, this project, this dream is achievable. So when you establish that it is achievable, then we are done with the first phase of reflection. And then you come to costing. You begin to do analysis around it. What is it going to cost me to achieve this? What is it going to take me to achieve this? Because can anyone come up with an idea without doing the costing? Without doing what is going to cost you, what is going to take you? How many years is going to take you? What is the financial resources it's going to cost you? Until you come to all of this, you are still dreaming. You're still running your fantasy. Until you bring your idea down, you break it down into smaller pieces, into bits. How long is it going to take me? What is the financial resources it's going to cost me? Do all of this analysis, and then what do I need to start doing now towards it? What can I do about this idea? What can I do about this goal today, now? Because if it is not now, it is nothing. If it is just about suspending your mind around your goals, your dream in tomorrow, you will keep frustrating your life. You keep living in frustration. You are going about, you are moving about, you are going to your bed. Your mind is with your goal. Your mind is with your dream. It is not here. You're going to keep frustrating. Your life will remain in frustration. You're not going to... Because let me tell you, it is real. Almost 90% of people are living a frustrated life. And why are we doing this? Is because our mind is over there and we are here. Our mind is over there and we are here. Our mind is with our dream. Our mind is always with our goal. Our mind is with our projects. Because every project, every dream, every goal lives in tomorrow. So when you are able to break it down, and then you can identify some portions that you can start now, the immediate portion of that idea, the immediate portion of that goal, the immediate portion of that dream, if you can identify them and you begin to do them today. And so at any time the dream crosses your mind, your mind is going to tell you that you are working on it. So at any time the dream comes to you, at any time it crosses your mind that, oh, how about this your dream? How about this your goal? Your mind will immediately tell you that you are working on it already. So your mind is aware that you are working on it already because you are doing the immediate works. You are doing the foundational work, and you are taking the step bit by bit, bit by bit. Let me tell you, the difference between greatness and mediocrity in the moment, daily, weekly, is so slim that even it is not measurable. The difference between greatness and mediocrity in a daily basis and weekly basis is so slim that it cannot be, most of the time, it is not measurable. Because it is about some extra 1 hour. It is about some extra 2 hours. It's about some extra few days. It's about some extra time that you spend to acquire some knowledge around that's your career, that's your idea, that's your project. It's about some few calls that you make, and then you added this to your portfolio. So it is not a big thing. Most of the time, what you are doing is not a big thing. It is some few steps that you are taking on a daily basis. So the difference between greatness and mediocrity is not wide. So we've got to understand all of this, that the first thing is that when you have been able to identify your idea, your goals, your dream, then we're going to look at the little portions that you have to start working towards every day. The little portion you have to be working towards every day. When you have identified the cause of the whole idea, then where are you going to source for the resources? Is it going to be from your income? Okay, how much are you making? Then how much are you going to be putting aside? Okay, what is the necessary skills you need to acquire? What is the necessary people you need to meet? What is this and what is that? So you begin to do this immediate work. It is not a big work. It is the small work. It is the bit by bit. A majority of us focus so much about the big work. It is about big. It's about, oh, what am I going to do in the next 1 week? just to achieve my goal. What am I going to do in the next 2 days to achieve my dream? It is not about these big things. It is about breaking everything down into smaller sizes, and you begin to work on them daily. Actualizing your goal, your dream, your project is not about focusing on the big side, the big thing. It's about that little things that you're going to be doing every day. Once you are not living today, you are not there. Once you are not living today, you are not there. You cannot achieve anything. You will just keep worrying, just keep bothering yourself. And let me tell you, the more you worry yourself, the more you disturb yourself, it's not going to convert to action. Worriness does not amount to action. Activities alone is not equal to action. And let me tell you, without action, there's no results. Thinking, worrying about this, and then talking about it, there's another thing that so we are so fond of. Planning. I'm planning about it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm this, I'm that. The more you keep planning around it, that is the more you keep talking to people. And then the more you talk to people, the more they will tell you about the impossibility of your idea. The more people will tell you the impossibility around it. Let me tell you, most of the people you are talking to, how many of them have received idea? How many of them have received a project and they've completed it, or they've executed it, or they are executing it? So now you are talking to someone who has never received any idea, or someone who has never processed his own idea. And you are expecting that person to advise you, or you are expecting that person to give you one possible information. All they will give you is impossibility. All they will give you is impossibilities. And so when you live in that planning room for a long time, you keep planning. Oh, this is it. All you will get is impossibility. And recently I was talking about the 4-step principle. The 4-step principle. That every idea is beclouded with so many things. Every idea is beclouded with so many impossibilities until you take the first step. Until you take the first step, you're not going to. There's no how you can understand the next phase. And let me tell you, if you have someone who have done even something before, your whole case is going to be different. Your own case is different until you take the first step. The next reality you don't understand. And the reality of your idea, the true picture of the entire idea, will not be revealed unto you until you take the first step. So in the first step principle, I stated that the 4-step principle states that until we have 2 steps towards every project, towards every idea, and that is the first step and the others. The 4-step principle states that there are 2 steps to every idea, to every project. The first step and the others. Because once you are able to take the first step, you have committed to the idea. You are unraveling the whole concept. You are opening the whole idea, and you are getting into the reality of the idea. With the first step, you are getting into the reality of the idea. So if you have not taken the first step, you are beclouded with so many things, with so many ambiguity, so many unrealistic picture. And that must be immediate. That must be now. You don't have to keep living in that tomorrow. The more you live in that tomorrow, the more you are frustrated. And the more you will keep living a worrying life. You keep worrying. You keep stressing yourself for nothing. And as I've said it, no matter the amount, no matter the gravity of your worriness, it's not going to convert to action. And without action, there will never be a result. There will never be a result. It's all about you taking action and then you are gaining results. You are taking action and then you are gaining results. From the beginning, there was nothing like problem in this world. It is human concept. From the beginning, there was nothing like good or bad. It is human concept. So when you begin to experience what is called, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like problem. It is what you and I fabricated. And the more we fabricate it, the more we have problem. The more you fabricate the problem, the more you have the problem. There's no problem in this world. There's so many things we head on to. There are so many things we believe, but they were not here from the beginning. From inception, they were not here. From inception, majority of the things that you hold on to, majority of the things that you believe now, they were not there. But because based on how we live, based on how we evolve, we begin to identify all of these things. But until you break through all of this, you know, I've given a lecture on redefining everything that were handed over to you. Redefining every concept that were handed over to you. Every divination given unto you. Every reality given unto you. You've got to redefine everything. Until you redefine everything, you're not free. You're not free. Majority of celebrity, majority of big people have talked about planning, but they don't tell you the real concept of planning. Because in the planning concept, you don't stay in the planning room. You stay on the field, and then you come back to the planning room to plan. Whatever you are seeing on the field, you are coming back to adjust. You are going to the field, you are coming back to adjust. You are not living in your planning room. It is not where you should live at all. But majority of people are they took their mattress, they took everything, and then they are living in the planning room, thinking, I want to get the whole concept right. I want to have the whole picture right. You cannot have the whole picture right. Sorry. From your planning room, you cannot have the whole picture right until you get to the field. Until you take that first step, you're not going to get the concept, the whole concept. It is not possible. Nobody should deceive you around that idea of planning. Nobody. And you know, also majority of us, we have this resolution of yearly resolution, yearly planning. That, oh, this is what I want to achieve at the end of this year. This is what I want to achieve at this. You cannot operate in that manner and achieve much. Because if you have a planning for the year, by January you'll be telling yourself that you have time. By February, by March, by April, by May, you will still keep telling yourself that I have time. I still have 8 months, I still have 6 months, I still have. Until you begin to compress your planning to few months, to few days, to few weeks. So to really have focus and to really commit yourself to idea, to a project, you've got to compress the expiring dates. I mean, the gap, the windows that you are giving to your idea, the extension you are giving to your idea has to be compressed. Because when you start idea today and you know that in the next 2 months it has to be ended, you will commit yourself. You commit yourself to it. But if it is 2 years, if it is 3 years, you know that I have a lot of time. You can keep jumping in here and there. You can keep going here and there. Keep going over there. And so we've got to understand all of these things for us to really achieve and achieve more in life. For us to really do great things in life. We've got to really understand that it is not about living with your dream. It is not about living with your goal. It is not about living with your project. It is about living now. Now and now. Run your plan for 3 months. Run your plan for 2 months. And when you are starting today, you know it is the window of 2 months. You are committed to it fully. It is a full commitment. There's no time. It is follow. When you finish today, you have something to do tomorrow. When you finish tomorrow, you have something to do the next day. But if you keep the window wide, if you keep it too open, you're not going to do so many things. And so the first thing is that you have to reflect on that your idea and know if it is not a fantasy. So when you are able to actualize, or when you are able to establish that your idea is achievable, it is realistic, then we come down to breaking it down into smaller bits, small bits, the one you can do today. You cannot focus on the entire project. You cannot focus on the entire idea. It's going to scare you. It's going to frustrate you. There's no how. It's going to frustrate you. Thinking about the whole project, thinking about the whole idea is going to frustrate you. When you look at the entire picture, no, it is not possible. But if you break it down, and you begin to work on it from today, from now, bit by bit, especially as I said, the first step. Once you take the first step and you begin to see the true picture, the true reality, you will know the person to talk to, the people to relate with, the resources that you need, where you need to get them, who you need to talk to. It is not possible for you to know the people to talk to, the people to relate with, until you take the first step. It is hard. Because you're not going to see the true trajectory, the true direction of that idea. And so for us to stop worrying ourselves and begin to live, truly live, we've got to bring our idea closer. And the only way we can bring our idea closer is when we have broken it down into pieces. When you break it down into pieces, then you can begin to pick them bit by bit and start working on the bit. Don't work on the entire project. Don't work on the entire idea. It's not working. It's not going to work like that. Break it down. Bring it close to today. As I said from the beginning, I said all of your idea, your dream, your goal is existing in the future. It's existing in the tomorrow. So, and the reason why you are frustrated is because you live with your idea, and your idea is in tomorrow, and you are here today. How are you, Jackie? Jackie Hussein. So for us to begin to live and stop worrying, we've got to bring all our wishes, idea, break it down, and begin to live today and stop living that tomorrow. And then the next phase is that we've got to keep reviewing. That's the last phase. When you have done your review, when you have broken it down, and then the next phase is to keep reviewing your idea. And review has to be in two phases. When you are doing your review, it starts to be in two phases. The process, the journey phase, and then the end points. The process and then the end points. So when you are doing the review of your idea, you've got to classify it into two. The process, what you are doing on a daily basis, what you are doing on weekly basis, and what you have set out to achieve in 1 month, what you have set out to achieve in 2 months. You've got to review that. And the entire scope. The entire projects. So are you doing what you're supposed to do today? Are you doing what you're supposed to do at the end of the week? Are you doing what you are supposed to do at the end of the month? Are you achieving your first 2 months? Are you achieving your the first quarter? That deserves a review. And then what is the reality of the end point? Still remaining standing? Am I still going to achieve the entire project in the next 5 years? Or are there some certain things I can do that will help me make it achieve it in less years? So when I begin to review it and review my project all the time, I can easily even identify some certain things I can begin to do today. The ones I've not included to my plan for today, I can begin to identify them. So the more you review the end points, the more you identify some certain points that you can also do today. Because as I said, until you take the first step, there are so many things you cannot identify. And by the time you take the second step too, you identify something else. By the time you take the third step, you identify something else. So as you are taking the step, you are identifying more things. And then you are bringing them closer. Because the goal is about bringing them closer. The goal is about bringing them to today. The concept of the whole thing is that we've got to live now. It's about the power of now. It's about the power of now. Most of our worriness, most of our stress is because we are not living now. We are not living. Majority of us are not living now. I'm doing that. I've done that about a few days ago. But because I understand all of this concept, I easily bring myself back to now. I am in the same shoe with you. We are all in the same shoe. We are in the same drive. We live too much in that. We live with our projects. Man, I want to achieve this thing. You have to come down here. You still have to remain in today. There's nothing like tomorrow. When the tomorrow comes, when the future that you concentrate so much on comes, it's still going to be today. That is the reality. That is the idea. The future that you concentrate so much on, when it comes, it's still going to be today. And so that is what we are talking about. What we are talking about is the power of now. Breaking your idea into pieces. And then bring those ones that you can do today. You can begin to do today. Bring them now and begin to work on them. Bring your mind, bring your body, bring your soul to today. Stop living that tomorrow. It doesn't exist. And it will keep frustrating you. It will keep putting you in danger, in frustration. And as I've said, majority of us are frustrated on a daily basis just because we are not living now. We have taken our soul, our mind, we have sent it to the future. We are here. And our life is about that, our mind. Whatever the mind is doing is affecting the whole body structure. Whatever the mind is processing is affecting the whole body structure. The mind is not here, it's there, but the body is here. And the body is frustrated. The body is disturbed. The body is under prayer. So, it is about these three things. If you want to stop worrying and start living, we've got to have the understanding of these three things. Get your idea. Reflect deeply on that idea to know if it is fact, if it is just mere fantasy, if it is achievable, if it is realistic. Until you establish this, you don't take any other step. As I said from the beginning, so many ideas are facts, so many ideas they are just fantasy, they are just wishes, they are just mere wants. So many of us have done so many ideas like that. We've fabricated so many ideas based on wishes, based on fantasy, based on activities going on in the environment, based on our friends and our people that are doing some certain things. We just fabricated a particular idea. Some of the ideas are fake. Some of the ideas are just mere fantasy. They are not achievable. They are not real. They are not even existing. And so until we come to that time and agreement to identify and know that this is real, this is reality, this is achievable, that is the first step. A deep reflection to know that the idea is achievable. It is realistic. Then we can begin to take the next step, which is breaking it down. When you have done your reflection and you have established that it's achievable, then you break it down into pieces, into bits. Bring it to today. You cannot live with your idea tomorrow. Your idea is still living tomorrow. Your idea is still living in the future. You have to break it down and have those ones you can work on today. That is the concept. Have those ones you can work on today. Bring your idea to pieces and closer. Bring your idea to pieces and closer. Bring it to today. The concept is the power of now, today. So when you bring it down closer today, it's getting close. It's closer to you. Even when you are sleeping, you can wake up and work on your idea. Even while you are at work, when you are working for someone, you can have some little time, your break time, your whatever. You can still work on it. That is the benefit of making it more closer. The benefit of making your idea closer is that every leisure time, every free time, you can work on it. But if your idea is still in that dream form, is still in that tomorrow, you are still wishing, no. It is not possible. You cannot work on an idea like that. You cannot work on it like that. And that is why we are more frustrated every time, often now and then. We are so much frustrated because the idea is not broken down. It's not in bits. It's not something that we can do today. There's nothing we can do around it today. And so the final point is that when you have been able to break it down and you have begin to work on it, then begin to do review, evaluation of that, the journey. And I said that the latter point is also subdivided into two. The review is subdivided into two. You are reviewing the process and you are reviewing the final points, the destination. As you are reviewing the process, you are reviewing the final points. Because as you are going, you are identifying some of the portion that you can also bring to today. As you are going by, and then you are reviewing the end point, you will be finding some points that you can also bring to today. And because I've said, when you take the first step, the second step, you discover more things. When you take the third step, you discover more things. You discover that no, this project does not have to last for 5 years. You can compress it to 4. You can compress it to 3. But it is until when you are going through the process. It is when you are going through the process. Hello, Shafi. I can see you, Shafi. Yeah, hello. And so what we are talking about is really about living now. It's the power of now. That for us to stop worrying and start living, we've got to live now. We've got to be here. There's nothing like tomorrow. We have to have that understanding. There's nothing like tomorrow. There's nothing like future. It does not exist. It's just a concept. Because when that tomorrow arrives, it's still going to be now. It's still going to be now. And then the true picture is that our idea, our dream, lives in that tomorrow. Your project lives in tomorrow. And if you send your mind to be with your idea, to be with your project, to be with your goal, you are living in tomorrow. And you will be frustrated. So for us to stop worrying and start living, we've got to be here. We've got to be here. We've got to be here. I've talked about the principle of first step. The principle of first step that states that we have just 2 steps to every idea, every project. The first step and the other. Until you take that first step, there's so many realities you will not understand. There's so many things that will not be revealed unto you. You've got to take the first step. And then also the concept of making your planning short. Don't plan for 1 year. Plan for 2 months. Plan for 3 months. Make your planning short. Compress it. Because the closer the end point, the closer your planning, the more you commit yourself, the more you focus. But when you have your planning to be like 1 year, 2 years, and all of that, you will be telling yourself so many things. You have time. You will not commit more. But when you know that if I don't do something today, if I don't take some steps today, in the next 2 months, I won't be able to achieve what I've set ahead. So you can focus. You can commit. And also, we've got to make sure that our goals, our ideas are emotionally attached. They are something that is real. That's something that is convincing. When your dream, when your goal, when your dream is convincing, nobody can stop you on the way. You are unstoppable when your idea is that emotionally attached. When you know that this is your dream, if you do not achieve it, you are going nowhere. Nobody can stop someone that is convinced. A dream that is convinced is unstoppable. A dream that is convinced is unstoppable. I tell people your dream is supposed to be what will drive your friendship, what will drive your company, what will drive the kind of people you relate with, the kind of environment you find yourself, the kind of association you have must be informed by your dream. But that is only when your dream is that convincing. That is when your dream is that audacious. That is when your dream is real. So your dream must be that convincing to the point that it's guiding your step. It's guiding the kind of people. It's guiding your environment. It's guiding your path. So your idea must be that. It must be the one that will guide the kind of some certain friends you will find yourself around. You just have to get them out the way. There's some environment you will find yourself, you just have to get yourself out of it. But this falls on the reflection point. When you are reflecting on that idea, when you are reflecting on that goal, when you are reflecting on that, you would know When you are able to establish that this is real, this is achievable, and then you can pour your emotion into it. When you can pour your emotion into your goal, into your idea, into your dream, and become unstoppable. So we live a frustrated life because most of our dreams, most of our ideas are just vague. We are just like someone who assists. We're just living. We're just copying. We're just going by life. But it is more deeper than this. It's more deeper than this. So as I'm rounding up, I want to quickly brush it up that you've got to live now. Your idea has to remain in the future. Your idea has to remain in tomorrow, and you have to begin to work on it from now. You don't have to position your mind with your idea, which is in tomorrow. You have to break it down, bring it to today, the small bits you can start to work on from today. Begin to work on it. Identify those small portions. If it's going to be financial resources, begin to put some kind of some portion of your income aside. Begin to put some portion of your income aside to achieve your dream, to achieve your goal, to achieve your project. If it is going to be to build some certain skills, begin to gun for those skills. And that is all. That is all it takes. So I wish us all the best.